Hello, and this is part 2 video, right? Titled What the Gods Don't Want You to Know. Okay, so you really need to watch part 1 before you watch this. So if you stumbled upon this, just click out of it and go and watch part 1 and then come back and watch this. Okay, so in the previous video we were talking about how the gods don't want you to have knowledge and enlightenment. We went into that in in some detail. And we finished up by talking about mediums. So basically today, we have medium, psychics, channelers, and, we were talking about scriptures where that's forbidden, okay? But so is many things forbidden in the Bible, right? And a lot of it, when you really think about it, a lot of what's forbidden in the Bible is to take away your independence and your power, and it's to keep us in a place. See, the Bible says, right, that the fear of God is the beginning of wisdom, right? So, basically, we've seen in part 1 how you're not supposed to have knowledge, like higher knowledge. You're not supposed to advance and evolve in your knowledge and your consciousness and your awareness and get enlightenment, right? We see evidence in the Bible how that is squashed, okay? But what the Bible does encourage you to do is to do what you're told, to be obedient, to gain knowledge of God, right? And it is the knowledge of God, the fear of is the fear of God, that is the beginning of wisdom. So it takes you down that route, which is very controlled as to the knowledge that you can have. And we know that God does not want us to have greater knowledge, and no point going over that again because we've already done it, okay? So, but remember the serpent, okay? The serpent was man's advocate, cared for man, wanted man to have, to be at his full potential, and of knowledge and enlightenment, and to evolve, right? To have the, to unlock that which was suppressed, so that we could be like God. That God confirmed by saying, behold, man has become like us. And then he took steps to prevent that by guarding the tree of the knowledge of good and evil, swords all around it, by coming down and sorting out the Tower of Babel, confusing us, dispersing us, changing our languages, right? Laws were in place against, alternative spirituality, consulting mediums. God does not want you to get into a place where you're, consulting and channeling, higher beings that can improve our godlike status, lead us down that path of enlightenment, okay? But, the serpent has never demanded our worship, obedience. There's never been consequences for trivial sin, okay? Whereas Jehovah, we've seen, has been a tyrant, and a brutal tyrant. And it will take an entire video and probably a series of videos to show you, right, just how tyrannical and bloodthirsty and frightening Jehovah is, right? See, what happens is a lot of times, Christians today, they quote all the nice scriptures that paint God in a nice light, okay? But, you see, just because you've got a nice side and a few nice moments to reflect on does not overall mean that you're a benevolent character, right? I've had cats that purr on your lap and they snuggle into you and they got innocence in their eyes and they're lovely and you stroke them and they're beautiful kittens, and yet they'll torture and kill mice and birds. They're savage, they're brutal, right? Look at some pretty horrific world leaders, past, present and future, that any abusive relationship that you've been in, you're told you're loved, you're told a few nice things. You can cling to those words, but you've got to look at the overall, right? Gaddafi is one person who killed a lot of people, right? But yet he had free healthcare, free university, lump sum payments for newlywed people. If you had a child, you got a lump sum of money. Yeah, so same thing with the Bible and religion, or Islam, Judaism. There's a few scriptures that you cling to, but people who have been following it for decades, for a lifetime, are simply, I have for a lifetime until I came out, and yet after a lifetime of following it, dedicating my life to it, I was unaware of the brutality, right? So you've got to read the Bible in its entirety to get the full picture, okay? Alright, so I encourage you, but with these words. First of all, you're an upgraded being, right? We have become like God with a small g, right? I don't believe that the God of the Bible is the creator of the universe. He's a mortal being, not immortal. He's not omnipresent, not omnipotent. There's a bunch of evidence for that, which I'll go into in another video. But he was a supreme advanced being, and we have been upgraded to be more like him, but we don't have to have, more like his race, more like his species, right? Jehovah himself was a totalitarian tyrant, but we can achieve godlikeness, right? In all the positive senses. We have that within us, right? We have that within us. We are able to obtain greater knowledge and enlightenment, and we should pursue that, and we should seek greater spiritual knowledge. So yeah, I said I'd give a shout out to a friend of mine called Daniela De Castro. She's a renowned psychic medium and channeler and healer. Okay, go check out her website, danieladecastro.com. I'll put it in the description down below. And she's going to be doing classes, spiritual classes as well. So follow her. Make sure you don't miss out when she starts notifying of her upcoming classes that she's going to teach. And she has her own channel, so I'll put that in the description down below. You can go and subscribe, because she does have some great insightful spiritual knowledge. Okay, so thank you once again, and I will see you in the next video. Bye bye.